Hey, Lou from RV Habit. And a while back, we installed a Vista ShadePro awning shade for our awning on our trailer. I'll leave a link to that video up here in the corner. Go check it out. But we were absolutely amazed at the difference in temperature that awning, that shade awning provided. So we started thinking about, what about the other side of the RV, the windows in that RV, to keep that cooler, and we thought about getting a window shade. So I reached out to ShadePro again because they've been in business for 45 years. It's all they do is shades and awnings. And they were willing to collaborate with me on this. And we've got an RV window awning shade here to install. And I'm gonna go over how to measure it, how to install it, the tools you'll need, and if it makes any difference on our RV. Now, the window awnings that they offer, they have multitude of different types. They have different sizes. Everything's custom made. You can get vinyl, you can get acrylic, you can get multitude of different color fabrics. And these are really beneficial because, one, not only do they provide you a lot of shade on over your windows, they if you had those sliding windows, the traditional RV sliding windows, you can put this down while it's raining and open those windows. And obviously we're going to test, but I'm almost positive it's going to be a great asset for the heat. But let me show you what we got. We got the acrylic version, and the acrylic version comes with this AlumiGuard that when the awning is closed, there's an aluminum casing over it to protect the fabric below. And we went with what they call a Fullview fabric, which allows you to see through it when it's open. But you can also get solid colors, and like I said, the colors are endless. In addition to the awning, you have the rail that goes on the RV, and that's what this will slide into. And just a couple pieces of hardware. It's just got an arm on each side, and it supplies the hardware that you'll need to mount this all. The only thing you'll need in addition to the awning itself is you'll need to have some butyl tape, and that'll go on the back of this rail and on the back of these arms. The tools you'll need is you'll need a 5/16 inch nut driver for the screws. I have my power nut driver, and I have a hand one. You'll need a drill, 3/16 inch drill bit and a 1/8 inch drill bit. And really, that's it. The hardest part about this will be getting this up. This is a 9-foot awning, and I'm gonna show you why it's 9 feet. But first, let's take you outside. I'm gonna show you how you measure for this awning. So we're out here at the RV. Excuse the tape. I've been doing some measuring and centering everything, so I didn't have to waste time on the video with that. But let me show you how to measure for these awnings. What you're going to do is measure the width of your window. And if you see, this is 3 foot 1 1/4. The awning needs, for the rails, it needs an additional 6 inches on top of the window. So 3 foot 1, you go 6, you come to 3 foot 7. Now they come in 6 inch increments, so you would go to the next. This window would be 4 feet. So let me explain that again. You need a minimum of 6 inches.
It's impossible.
6 inches.
In addition to the width of the window. And they're sold in 6 inch increments. So this would be 3 foot 1, 6 other inches is 3 foot 7. They don't make it 3 foot 7, they make a 3 foot 6, which is too small, or they make a 4 feet. So you would get a 4 foot awning for that. Now, I'm going to explain how we did this measurement, because we used one awning, and I measured from the end of one window to the end of this window. And you could see I'm at 7 foot 8. Now anything over 7 foot come in 1 foot increments. So I'm at 7 foot 8. The next awning available that's over 6 inches would be 9 feet. So we got a 9 foot awning to cover these two windows. I hope that makes sense. And the standard is if your window is less than 3 feet, so if your window is less than 3 feet tall, you get the standard. If it is over 3 feet, and there are some RVs with windows that are 3 feet, they make an XL version, and that's the version you would get. It actually just comes down a little further. It's a little bigger of an awning. If you're just buying it for a standard window, pretty easy. You measure the window, the awning goes over the window, and you're done. So I have 2 different size windows, and I have a vent up here. So in order to mount this, that's why we decided on one awning. We thought it would look funny with 2 different size smaller awnings. One awning would just look better. So I measured the width of this. I came up with 9 feet. And the awning needs to be mounted 3 inches above the window for clearance, okay? But I have this vent here that's 3 inches above it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going 3 inches above this vent, and that's where the awning will mount. What I've done here, the green tape you see, is the window, your window could be smaller here and bigger here. So you don't want to just put it in between the windows, the center line. You need to take the width and determine the center. So I have on each side of the window, I have 8 inches. 8 inches here, 8 inches here. And I've determined the center between that up here. It's not between the windows, it's literally between the width on each side of the windows. And I've marked out where the rail is, so that tape you see is 3 inches above this vent, and that'll just give me a guide when I mount the upper rail. So it's super hot outside, so we're going to do a lot of the prep work inside. And the first thing to do is put some butyl tape on the back of this rail. And that's as easy as peeling the butyl tape, and we will just stick it to the back of this rail. So in addition to the back of the rail, we're just going to put some butyl tape on the back of these arms that are going to be attached to the RV. Okay, let's get outside and we'll hang this rail up. So like I said, once you've determined where this rail is going to be mounted, and I like butyl tape instead of like silicone or anything like that. Butyl tape works fantastic, and what's going to be nice, this is such a long rail that it's going to help me keep it in place while I try and screw it. It'll actually stick to the RV and hold the rail in place. Now when you put the rail on, you're going to put the screws down, the rail itself goes up. We'll put that on our line. And again, like I said, the butyl tape helps it stay. So let me just get the other end straight, and then we'll start putting the screws in. So I have the rail all stuck on. The butyl tape is holding it in place. I've double checked. I'm straight all the way down and an equal distance all the way down. And with an RV, please do not use a level to make this straight. Nothing is level. You need to make it straight with everything else. That's how you hang stuff in an RV. If your window's not level, you don't want the awning rail level. Again, you want it straight to everything in proportion. So I have this stuck up. I'm going to pre-drill. And we'll get a screw in there. And we'll just work our way down. Okay, the next step is I'm just gonna scrape off the butyl tape that squeezed out and we'll get the rail up. And removing the butyl tape is just as easy as taking a little plastic scraper and it'll come right off. So the next step is to prep the awning tube to go on the RV, and we need to mount the arms on each end before we slide the tube into the slot on top. And those are very easy. Just slips on here like that, and there's a hole here. It comes with a self-tapping screw. Put that on, and we will screw that in. Perfect, and we'll do the other side. So two quick things to help this tube go into the rail. One, I've opened up the end here with a little screwdriver, just flared it out a little bit, and I'm going to take some silicone type spray, and I'm just going to spray some in the rail, and that'll help the cords slide through there nice and easy. Pick your end up a little bit, that's it.
Got it?
I got it.
Enough to hold it?
That's it. So that went in actually very easy. So definitely spread this out a little bit and a little silicone in here. That thing slid right in. The next thing you want to do is there are cotter pins on each end. These arms are under spring tension. So we want to relieve the spring tension for each arm, and then we'll mount the arms to the RV. So just all you got to do is pull the arm down a little bit, and that'll relieve the tension. And I'll do the other side. So the next part is to mount the arms, and in order to get the arm at the right height so you can move this up and down, the top of this roller tube needs to be right at the bottom of this rail right here, just like that. The top to the bottom of this rail here. That's the height we want, and then we're going to make sure the arm is straight, and then we'll screw it in. And that's not going anywhere, as they say. All right, so I've cleaned the butyl tape off, and you're going to look for the pull strap, and it says to pull it down back and forth a couple times to center everything. And we'll just go back and forth. Okay, now once it's centered, the next part is to attach the clip so this can hold, and I'm going to have to center it. So right now, see, this can move wherever you want it, but I want to center it between the two tubes, so I'll do that, and then we'll find a location for the clip. All right, so we're going to pull this down. I've got this exactly centered where I want it, in between the tubes, so it's the same amount on each side. Again, it's not centered to the windows, it's centered to the tube, because I have two different size windows. And basically what you're going to do, you want to look where this part, this drop down, is at 6 o'clock, right on the bottom, and that's where you want to put your hook. So I've marked it with an X as the center, and we'll install that, and that'll be where we put this hook. And this hook, it's a metal hook, and it hooks that loop and it holds the awning down. I put a piece of butyl tape down, and I want the open end of the hook towards the back of the RV. And before I screw it in, I'm just going to check again. just about perfect. Okay, let's screw it in. So the final two steps to install this is, one, you're going to put a set screw on each side, and then you're going to put a bumper behind this tube. They give you these bumpers so that it doesn't rest on the camper, it's going to rest on that bumper there. So the first thing I'll do is I'll put the bumper in. Okay, bumper's there, and then I'm going to take a 3/16 inch drill bit, and I'm going to put a set screw in right through this rail into the rubber cord here that's holding the awning. First I got to pre-drill and come in about an inch or two from the edge of the roller. That's it, just one little screw. I'm going to do the same exact thing to the other side and we'll be done. So we have the set screws in and the bumpers. You can pull this. And there's also a recommendation that if you got a lot of wind, this could flap in the wind. They recommend just give it a quarter turn before you put it on. So it's a little turned, and that'll prevent the wind from doing it. But other than that, boy, that looks nice. Oh, I can't wait to test it and see how much cooler it keeps this. So let's take a look inside here. This is the main big window, and that's what it looks like from the window. And as you can see, you can actually see right through the awning, so it does not inhibit your view. And the same for the kitchen window. Very nice. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Fullview awning over like an awning that would block the view, but both are available. You know, it's whatever your fancy is. Real nice. I want to do some temperature tests. So it's a normal sunny day here in Florida. We're going to take some temperatures of the outside and the inside without the shade awning, and then we'll put the shade awning down, let it sit for a little while, and take some other temperatures and see if it cools it down at all. So the exterior of the RV is 108.5. This glass is 112, 108.1, and this glass 112.1. And it's just worth noting, the sun's not directly on us, there's some clouds over. It's hot today, but I'm sure it would be even hotter if the sun was baking on it. Let's go inside. We'll take inside temperatures to compare those also. All right, so we'll take some temperatures on the inside. Just to note, the air conditioner is not on in this rig. It's just got the max air fan just pulling air through it like it normally would. And we'll take some temperatures. And if you could see, it's actually warmer in here. The glass is 113 on the inside. The wall is 114. And over here, the wall is 114 and 111.8 over here. So actually a little bit warmer on the glass on the inside. So like I said, those temperatures are without the air conditioner on in here, and we'll put the shade down and we'll take some temperatures later. So I've had this open all day. It's around the same time of day as I took the temperature yesterday. It's about the same temperature, and we are, if you could see that, we're about 93 degrees. And we'll go check the inside and see if that's any different. Okay, so to take some inside temperatures, This is 94.5 degrees, so definitely a little cooler. Again, take this with a caveat. This is the next day. It's not the same day I took the original temperatures. I've had the window shade open all day, but it is similar in temperature outside, similar sun, and it's probably never going to get cooler than 95 right now because the inside of the RV is 95 degrees. So I would expect the glass to be 95 degrees, equal with that. But let's go back outside. So there you have it, a pretty simple install overall, but if you're looking, especially if you're in Florida, to get some shade, this is what you need. It also protects you from UV rays. If you want to use it in the rain, you can still use your windows. And overall, I really think it really does dress up your RV. I think it's a fantastic upgrade. We love it. I will leave a link for the ShadePro website below. I'm not affiliated with them in any way, but if you stuck around for the video this long, thank you. And as always, appreciate you watching. See you soon.